Hey guys, I want to make another video about the 2024 versus 2025 Ford Super Duty. There's a little bit of confusion, and to be fair, I made a little bit of a mistake and oversimplified the transmission options for the 25 Ford Super Duty. There's some good news, there's some bad news. It just depends on how you want to look at the transmission changes for 2025 versus 2024. But we're going to dive into this now and kind of show you the differences with the 7.3 liter Godzilla transmission options from 24 to 25. So let's do this. Okay, for the sake of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare a 2024 to a 2025 Super Duty. I'm going to start with an F-250, specifically F-250. I want to thank some of the people that watch this channel. They actually brought this to my attention in the last video I posted, and they were accurate, and I really appreciate you guys being engaged and giving me that feedback. But let's start with the 2025. I've got up on the screen. I picked a long bed because I was curious to see if short bed or long bed, if they give you a different transmission. But with the 2025, you can see the standard engine is the 6.8. We all know that. It's $1,000 more for the 7.3. Now, before I select anything, I'm going to show you this is the Torqshift G transmission, which is the 10R100, not the 10R140 or the 180. This is the Torqshift G, still a 10-speed trans. If I click on the 7.3, transmission stays the same. Notice no difference. Now, if I go and even change the gearing, nothing changes. I can even add a FX4 package. It does not change until I select this one option, which now, the fact that I picked a long bed, you cannot get, according to what I understand right now, you cannot get the 10R140 in an F-250 long bed, but you can get it in a short bed under a certain configuration, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. So, XLT, Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum, you can get a tremor. If we select the 7.3 right here, you still see it's still got the 10R100 Torqshift G. Now I'm going to go and select the tremor package. Look at that, it changed. It's no longer the 10R100, it's a 10R140. So this is for the F250 with the 7.3 liter. Now, if we go into 2024, I just want to show you guys, this is the same truck I just originally built, but in a long bed. The base motor we know in 2024 was the 7.3, not the 6.8. But it also had the 10-speed transmission, not the Torqshift G. So this just proves more evidence of the transmission change, which we know, not a big deal. But now, to get the Torqshift G, we're going to select the 6.8. I'm going to see if it's going to let us. It will, and it does change the transmission. So you can get a 6.8 in a Super Duty if you want for 2024, which you can't build one now. It's just whatever's on the lot. But you notice it is actually a price increase, which is kind of funny, but it is a base motor. But you could actually do that. They don't really show a price difference, but the price does go up. But now I want to show you guys this. Now we're going to change model. We're going to go to short bed. We're going to go right here, 7.3 short bed, 10-speed trans, not the Torqshift G. So if we go back, change model, and now I want to select F-350. We're going to go 2025. We're going to go F-350, XLT, got XLT, we're going to go XLT versus XLT, and I've noticed on the F-250s for 2025, it doesn't matter if you do XLT, Lariat, I don't see a way to get the 10R140 non-Torqshift G in an F-250 for 2025 other than a tremor package. So here we go, 2024, F-350, 7.3, 10R140. So that's for 2024. Now let's see what 2025 looks like. F-350, still the standard engine is the 6.8, even though in 2024 the standard was the 7.3. Not a big deal, $1,000 more, but let's see what happens with transmission. Boom. So guys, here's your answer. If you're really dead set on getting the 10R140 behind the 7.3, your options are two things. If you want a single rear wheel, get an F-250 with a tremor package or get an F-350. Me personally, in my use, I would always go to the F-350 because I want more payload capacity and I want the overload springs. But what's funny is Ford, since 2023, when they made this new revision truck, the P708, I believe is this platform, they've made a lot of these interesting changes that people didn't know. People didn't know about that front axle change that it used to be the Dana 60. Now it's the new, I think the M235 up front. But what's interesting is if you do want an F250, the only way to get a 7.3 with the 10R140 is with a trimmer. And what's funny about what Ford is doing is, to me, what I'm seeing is the trimmer is offering more and more value to get this package, especially in an F250. If you look from 23 to 24 to 25, there's been cost cutting across the board. In 2023, you could get selectable hubs that were auto and manual locking on all four-wheel drive options. In 2024, they went away. They went to the dummy hub on the one side, and you still had the manual auto hub on the other side, but the trimmer still remained with both selectable. And then now here we are again in 2025, trimmer kept the 10R140, and it's going to keep the heavier duty rear axle with the overload spring. So if you're on the fence and you're like, I don't need an F-350, and you really don't want a trimmer, I get it. But man, there's a lot of value in the transmission, rear axle, and leaf springs. Something to consider, plus the locking, the auto selectable hubs on each side. So there's a lot of value potentially in selecting the trimmer for the F-250. With all of that being said, it almost seems like what Ford has done is, in a way, almost created like two classes of their Super Duty. F-250 was always technically a little lighter duty than the F-350. But they've really kind of changed this with this transmission behind the 7.3. I still think, personally, this 10R100 is going to be a great transmission. I wouldn't be worried about it for myself and my use. But if someone is on the fence and they're like, man, I really want a 10R140, no problem. Spend $800 more and get an F350 over an F250. You can still get the 10R140, which is great for those guys doing it. But what would be really interesting, I want to find an F250 from 25 versus an F350 in 25 with the 10R140 and a 10R100. It'd be cool to put both these on a dyno and see if we see a noticeable difference of power to the ground with the 10R100 being lighter weight, less rotational mass. Be curious. Also, if you think about it, with an F250, if you just really need a 3/4 ton truck, you don't want a 1 ton, and you don't want the overloads, you don't want the 10R140, you are picking up another 100 pounds of payload. So that's actually a really nice benefit for the guys that are totally okay with the 10R100, but they want an extra 100 pounds of payload. So I want to apologize to those that I had a little confusion on the last video. Thank you for those that watched that did make the comment. I really appreciate that. And I don't have a problem saying I made a mistake. And in this case, I did. But thank you for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. And if you are watching and subscribed, make sure those notifications are turned on. Hey, I hope you guys enjoy these Super Duty videos. A lot more fun to come with these. Thanks for watching.